So good afternoon. I'm out on about a 60-mile ride up the valley from Adamstown, Maryland, which is actually near the Potomac River, up to Thurmont, Maryland, near the Catoctin Mountains. Today, right now, where I'm sitting is a little stream called Hunting Creek, and I'm right below the fish hatchery, which is right to my right, up this stream here where they raise a large population of trout for the trout streams in Maryland. So today I'm gonna unveil a little bit about who is the cycling advisor, because many of you have been asking the last 2 months. So stay tuned. So as I said earlier, I wanted to give everybody a little insight as to who the cycling advisor is. How you doing today? Good. So a little bit about me. I grew up in Eastern Pennsylvania and have been in Maryland for many years, since the Inner Harbor opened, actually in Baltimore. I was married for 20 years. I've been divorced for almost 20. I have 2 great kids. My son's in Atlanta, who's a recording engineer, and my daughter is in the Baltimore area, who is an illustrator. So many of you have been asking what I do when I'm not riding my bike, which I got into, actually, ironically, cycling 20 years ago after my divorce. I guess you could call it, that was my therapy. Still is today. I get pretty grumpy if I'm not riding for a couple weeks, if you ask my current girlfriend. But cycling is therapy. While it does keep you in shape, and I always say it allows me to eat what I like when I want. But a little bit about what I do. Many of you have been asking on Facebook, so are you a cycling coach? What do you advise? What do you do? And it's pretty simple. My story is about 7 years ago, I worked in corporate America, running big printing companies up and down the East Coast for architects, engineers, and contractors. I got laid off 8 years ago. I was out of work, and this story is very relevant to today. I was out of work. I needed health insurance for myself and my son. I bought a policy. Somebody told me, a friend of a friend came to my house, showed me some rates for health insurance coverage that I wasn't aware existed. And yeah, it was very affordable, even though I didn't have much income at the time. I bought a policy for my son and myself, and a month later, they said, well, do you want to work for us? And I had been looking for work for 9 months, I think. And I said, well, why not? I'm tired of looking for a different job. I really don't want to go back to corporate America. So since then, I've worked for the company. You might have heard of U.S. Healthcare or United Healthcare. That's who I represent. And it's basically private insurance that if you're healthy, you can get a much more affordable rate, lower deductibles, and more importantly, less increases year over year. So what I do is I educate small business owners, families, self-employed people on not only the ACA plans in their state. I'm licensed in many states in the U.S., but then I educate them on private insurance, which 99% of the time, they don't even know they have an option to purchase private insurance. And they get access to one of the biggest network providers of doctors, hospitals, urgent cares across the whole country. So they don't have a plan just that they can only use in their state. They can use it anywhere in the U.S., which is very attractive to people on state borders. So that's what I do. And I'm very passionate, just like I was in corporate America, about educating my managers to become better people and better managers. Now I educate consumers one-to-one. I do it remotely, which is, again, relevant to today, and help people with options they don't know exist. So I hope you're having a great weekend. Be safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you around. Take care.